Hi everyone, thanks for joining us today. My name's Anna. I'm a VIT registered teacher and a Seeker registered career practitioner. And I'm joined by Jamie, student recruitment coordinator from the University of New England. And today we're here to talk to you about the UNE Early Entry program. So Jamie, can you tell our audience a little bit about the UNE Early Entry program?
Yeah, so our early entry program, it's a direct application to the university, and it's essentially just another way for students to apply for university study out of their secondary education. Yeah.
Okay, so straight from Year 12. And who's eligible to apply for the program?
Yeah, so the program's open to all Year 12 applicants. You don't need to be you don't need to be receiving an ATAR in order to be eligible for early entry. It's also open to TAFE students who are studying the tertiary preparation certificate.
Right, okay. So what are the benefits, or why might students want to apply for this program?
Yeah. The program, it's essentially a way for you to get into university where it's not reliant on your results in that HSC exam. It could be, I guess, a relief for the student, not having the pressure of it all riding on that one exam. It's also just another avenue of application to broaden their options after school.
So it helps give them the best chance of, getting into their preferred course.
Exactly, yeah. And I think a lot of students, even up to now, haven't decided where they want to go, and they probably are looking to just get as many offers as they can and then decide later. So it's just another option, yeah.
Okay, and I think I've read that the UNE Early Entry program has a guaranteed offer as part of it. What exactly does that mean? Yeah,
so the guaranteed offer means that even if a student may not be eligible to gain entry into the course they've picked, what we do is make an offer to an alternative course that can be studied as a way to get into that course they want to do. An example would be a Bachelor of Science. If the student really wants to get into a Bachelor of Science, they may be made an offer to a Diploma in Science, which essentially just contains the first year subjects from the Bachelor of Science. Then with your results in the first few subjects or units of study you do, that can be used to gain entry into the Bachelor of Science. So no matter what, we make an offer to something. There's also a Pathways Enabling course. So in the case where a student, it's not appropriate to make an offer to the diploma, we offer that Pathways Enabling course, which is a pathway into the bachelor degree.
Right. So whenever a student makes an application through the early entry program, they really can rest assured that they will have an offer and they will have a program and something to go on with next year in 2025, no matter what. Even perhaps if it wasn't their first preference, they've got a stepping stone to help them get there.
Exactly, yeah. And as part of that as well, we also, for all our early entry offers we make, we guarantee a place in the residential colleges on campus as well.
Right, okay. And can you tell the career advisors a little bit about what that involves for the students and the benefits of living on campus?
Yeah, so living on campus, we have a few different options around the campus, different residential colleges. I think there's 6 or 7, don't quote me, and they are all at all different price points. Some of them are less expensive than others. The prices are all on our website. A lot of them are catered. Most of them on average are catered for at least one meal every weekday. And some of them are fully self-catered. There's some that are apartments. And most of them, though, are in this college system where you move into one of the colleges and you live in a dormitory type thing.
Right. Sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, it is.
So do students have a choice of, the different colleges that they can live at with that offer, or is it just a one particular residential college?
They do. They can preference where they'd like to go, but some of the colleges fill up quicker than others. So while they're guaranteed that they will have somewhere to stay on campus. It may not be their preferred college, but it might be.
Yeah, I see. Okay, so they get a place in a course and they get somewhere to live if they're applying from out of the local area.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's involved in applying for the UNE Early Entry program?
Yeah, so the early entry application process, the first step is a student makes their application. They submit it direct through our website, so it's not through UAC or QTAC, direct through our website. That application is then sent on to the school, where the career advisor typically will look at the application, make sure that everything on there is correct, first of all, and then we ask a few different questions on rankings in different subjects and general aptitude. After that, the application's then sent on to us at the university. We check that everything's all good with it, and it is reviewed by a few different people who then decide on what offer should be made based on that application. The student side of it, just a bit more specific for the student side of it, they choose 3 courses, 3 different options. They're not, I guess, if you're used to UAC, your preferences matter, like the order of preferences matter. In our application process, the order of preferences doesn't actually matter. We'll make an offer for all 3 of the preferences separately. So it might be, option 1, they get that. Option 2, they might get an alternate offer. Option 3, they might get what they actually picked. But we make the offer for all 3 of their preferences if they picked 3.
Yeah, so they really do get, quite a bit of choice.
Yes, definitely, yeah. And again, that's something they all want to do. They haven't decided what they want to study maybe. They can pick 3 completely different courses in 3 completely different areas. Yeah.
Okay, and so, you mentioned that quite a few people review the applications, but what exactly are they assessing each student's application on?
Yeah, there is the aptitude questions from the career advisor, general skills. We'd look for reading, writing skills, things like that. Also the rankings on the subjects they're studying. We want to know, for example, if they've picked a Bachelor of Agriculture, we'd want to see how well they're doing if they're doing agriculture in the HSC. And that all gets considered along with comments from the career advisor. If there's any disadvantages being considered in the application, we consider that alongside it.
Okay. And I guess you've kind of touched on my next question, which was, how can the career advisor or the student's teacher, how can they support them with their application? What is their role in the early entry application process?
Yeah, so I guess their role would be helping them decide which courses to choose. As a Year 12 student may not know what a Bachelor of Sustainability actually is. They may not know, they might have even picked out a career they want to do. They might not know which degree to do to pick that. So assisting with choosing preferences, maybe some assistance in choosing the right level of course. So there are courses that are a bit more challenging, like maybe a Bachelor of Laws. So talking to the student about if you're wanting to do that, what could happen is you may not get into it, talking them through what that alternative may be. They're aware of what, like a career advisor would be aware of what assessment they're going to be providing. So you'd want them to be somewhat transparent with the student that, I think you'd be good at this. I would recommend you do this course. Yeah. Yeah.
So helping students choose the subjects that, or the course that plays to their strengths and abilities and interests. Okay. Yeah. And so you mentioned that the career advisor needs to rank them on certain aptitudes. What's involved in that process from the career advisor's point of view?
Yeah. The actual process is going onto our website. We have a special career advisor portal to log into. All the applications that have been received are listed there. You would open the student's application. It shows you everything they've written out. So you check they spelled their name right. It doesn't always happen. Then you go on to it's called the principal's report, but that's what you're completing. Then you just answer all the questions that are listed there one by one, and you do that for each student and click the button to submit to UNE, and then we have a look at it.
Right. Okay. And so does the student need to provide any extra kind of information or documentation as part of their application?
Well, I mentioned before that disadvantage is considered for students who elect to request that, I guess, to be considered. That would require documentation. The standards for documentation, essentially we align that to UAC or QTAC's standards for consideration of disadvantage. So just whatever documentation proves that it's there. That could be a letter from a GP. It could be a letter from the principal even, I believe. It'd be all up on the website.
Right.
As far as other documentation, if they've completed certificates at TAFE outside of school, we would just ask for copies of those because we can also consider that. Other than that, there's no specific documentation we need from the student, just their details, their USI number, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. And so you did mention QTAC and UAC before,
Yes.
and said that, that's not necessary, but can students still make those applications? How do the two kind of different applications work together?
Absolutely, they can, and we usually recommend it because you want to just scattershoot as many different avenues as you can to try and get into the course you really want to do. They don't interfere with each other at all. If you're applying through UAC, if you're applying through early entry, they're not going to interfere with each other. Same with applications to, other universities too. Like there's no reason you shouldn't apply to as many different courses as you have time to do, basically. There's also the school recommendation scheme that they do. Again, same thing. They don't interfere with each other. You can still receive offers for all of your preferences if you get in for them.
Right. So let me see if I've got this right. Students can apply through UAC or QTAC for so they've got their heart set on a particular UNE course. They can put in a UAC or a QTAC application for those courses and an early entry application for the same ones.
Yeah, they can. Yeah.
Would you advise that, or would you advise that they preference different courses for each application?
It may depend on what their preference is, because I have seen cases where a student maybe didn't appear to be performing very well, and they didn't get the early entry offer. It was more likely that they didn't have the right subject. For example, like I said, agriculture. A student would typically need to be studying agriculture in order to get an early entry offer for agriculture. Similar with languages to a Bachelor of Languages, they'd have to be doing LOTE, something like that.
Yeah.
They may not be eligible for early entry, but then they absolutely knock it out of the park and get a 99 ATAR. Then they're going to get into that course through UAC, even though they weren't eligible to get that early entry offer.
Right.
So it's not necessarily easier to get into early entry. It's a different requirement.
Yeah.
So if someone's very much set on a specific course, I would say that apply through both. If you can, yeah.
And you said that students can apply for 3 courses through the early entry process, but are there any courses that are, off the list or excluded from the program?
Yeah. There are some examples I can think of. Medicine, the medicine program obviously has its own whole process to get into. There are some courses that have specific entry requirements that can't be met through early entry. There's 1 or 2 education courses that aren't on the list just because they require a band 5 in English and maths in order to grant entry. There's also, I think, music's not on there because you need to sit an audition. It's any of those courses that have something in it that basically an ATAR wouldn't get you into on its own. They can't be on early entry, but most of our courses, the vast majority, maybe 90%, are on early entry. The full list is on our website in the early entry section. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Sounds great. All right. So something that students might want to know is if they can defer their offer, because, as part of the guaranteed kind of caveat, they're going to get an offer for something. If they're planning a gap year, or, they're just a little uncertain if they're ready for uni yet, is deferring an option?
Yeah, it is. Deferring is an option for almost all of our courses. There's a handful that, not even a handful, I think it's just one. I think it's just nursing. You can't defer. That's because it's a quoted enrolment, but all other courses allow you to defer up to 2 years. So that would be done 1 year at a time, but we do allow up to 2 years of deferral for our offers we make.
So giving students a lot of flexibility as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so I believe that the first round of early entry applications has closed for 2024, but that there's still another round that students can apply for. Can you tell us what that involves, the dates, all the key bits of information?
Yeah. So the first round has closed because it's much earlier than previous years. But the second round, which essentially aligns to what it has been years past, is what we're doing in the second round now. The second round applications will close October 14th for students and then you've got a few weeks after that for the career advisor to make their rankings on the applications, October 14th. And then the round 2 offers are going to be released November 15th. So I believe that's around when the exams are ending. So that's when we used to do it, but they're still open.
Okay. So students have got until the 14th to get an application in.
Yes.
Career advisors have a couple of weeks after that to add in their information and rankings, and then students will have an offer or an answer by the 15th of November.
Yeah,
That's
on that
a quick
day.
turnaround. Yeah. And are they notified by email? How do they know, what should they be checking or looking at on that day to know about their offer?
We'll let them know. There'll be an offer email, there'll be a phone call, there'll be more emails and more phone calls if we don't hear from them. We'll make sure they're aware of it. Then if they want to defer, they actually have up until classes start essentially to defer and a couple of weeks before classes start to enroll in the course. Colleges, the applications might close a bit earlier. I don't have the date for that, but yeah.
Okay. And just one of the questions that's come to mind after hearing that, I wonder what happens if a student accepts their early entry offer from UNE and then when they receive, their UAC or their QTAC offer, they need to make a hard decision. What happens in that situation or scenario?
So there's no commitment. You're not locked into. Once you've accepted the offer, that's just basically letting us know that you're on. We think you're going to enroll, and we don't need to keep chasing you up for a response. But the actual enrolling into the course, that's not done until December. So that's the point where if they had enrolled into the course and selected their subjects, we would need them to withdraw, just so they don't get charged on HECS for being enrolled in the course. Otherwise, there's no issue. They just let us know in an email or a phone call that they're not proceeding with the offer. Yeah. Same with you. I mean, they may have received a different offer. That's totally fine. Just getting in contact with us over the phone's easier, but email too. We can do that. Anyway, yeah.
But actually enrolling in the course and the subjects is what secures their place for them once they've got that offer.
Yeah. So enrolling into the subjects is basically confirming your place in the course. It's only nursing where there's limited enrollment places to be taken. Nursing's unique in that it'll open at a different date. Again, we'll make everyone aware of this very much so who has a nursing offer, but nursing's the only quoted enrollment course that's on early entry.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if there are, career advisors watching who may not have had a student apply to the UNE Early Entry program before, where can they find out more information, or who can they contact with their questions? Is there anything else they need to know that we haven't talked about?
Yeah, so a career advisor that wants to get in touch, we have the Future Students team here. They handle all these early entry applications. They're the ones actually reading and checking the applications once they're received. So they have access to the back end of the system that the early entry application runs on. So they're the Future Students team. If you go to our website, they're the first ones that come up when you say contact us. But if you want to give them a call, the number's 1-800-818-865.
Okay, we'll put that information down in the description box as well. Yeah, okay, terrific. So, Jamie, are there any other details, anything we haven't covered about the program, or any last bits and pieces that career advisors really need to know?
I mean, career advisors, most of you have probably done this many, many times before. I'm sure you're well aware of the processes. We, like I was saying, the Future Student team, we've talked to all our career advisors, and we do understand that the actual systems you're using and each university's different direct application is a different beast entirely. So anything at all, I'd say just call us up. Everyone needs their passwords reset every year. Everyone needs like links sent to them again. We no judgment, basically. Just give us a call. Yeah. Yeah.
So just reach out, talk to a real human, and someone's on the other end to help.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, terrific. That's great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking time out today to talk to me, to explain how that works. Sounds like a terrific program for students. And those dates were the 14th of October for the students to get their early entry applications in. Then their career advisor will have a couple of weeks to respond to the aptitudes, and students will have a guaranteed offer by the 15th of November.
Yes. Yep.
Fantastic.